Hello and welcome to Slashie's Midnight Coding Sessions number 13. Today I'm working in Emerald Woods again. So the last couple of days I have been working on a pretty big chunk of work on Emerald to do some prioritized changes, I guess. They were not part of the roadmap, not really, but I believe we could improve that on Emerald Woods, and I kind of like how it's shaping up. What we have now is, hold on a second, let me see how this is gonna work. Okay. What we have now is some changes on how the crafting and building works, because previously we had a command that you could use to imagine what you were going to build, and then that was kind of selecting, what was your plan of building stuff, and then under a separate command for actually placing that. Now, what we have now is a mode. So just pressing escape is going to take you to a mode where you can select what you want to build, and then, for example, let's gather some resources first. Gonna get some wood here, like I would usually do. And then we're going to go to the build mode. We're gonna select the fence in this case, and I can press enter to build a fence. So if I want to build a single thing, I can directly build it. For example, if I wanted to build a paddle, there you are. But the most important thing here is, if I want to make some fences, like more than one, I will select the fence here, and then I will be able to place them just pressing Ctrl, and it's going to just can change. And now I want to build a gate, but I need more wood, of course. So I leave crafting mode, I get the wood, and I go back to crafting mode, and I can select. Oops, sorry, I did not want to do that. Let's X that down. Go back to crafting mode, just put the wooden gate, press tab so I can move freely, and then I can create the wooden gate. So it's still needs some it still will take some time to get used to, right? But I believe it's part of learning how to use a game, but it should be much more straightforward than the previous version. Now let's go into coding. So as a byproduct of this change, the cooking menu is now broken, and this is because, crafting and cooking, since they were similar, in the end they produce new items using recipes of other items. They reuse the same UI components. So right now, when I try to cook, it's blocking here because we don't have the access to the recipes of actual cooking, the categories of stuff. So, and then we can also leave, and we are now in this weird mode where we are in cooking mode, but we are not next to a place or an item where we can cook, or a fireplace. So some work to do. I'm gonna go and check the source code to see if there's anything missing being commit, and indeed we have some pending stuff here. We have all the work that was done to allow this switch into movement mode while in crafting mode. So I'm going to commit that, allow switch into movement mode while in crafting mode. That's kind of this hybrid state, because before that you could not do that. As a result of all this, the entire imagine command has been removed because it's no longer needed, and Yeah, we'll see how this goes. This is still going for internal review tomorrow. We're going to see how it feels, and yeah, probably tweak it a little bit more before going public this week. So I'm going to select the changes that I'm going to commit. Quite a big change. There's been a lot of refactors and small changes in this version compared to what went public on Saturday. I believe it was Saturday. So yeah, a lot to test as well. There goes. Alright, so now cooking. So we have a function here which is called show recipes. Yeah, show recipes. Recipes, is that the right way to pronounce it? I think so. And right now this is used in 3 different places. So 2 of them are for building, for cooking, and 1 of them is for building. This is what we are using right now. When we switch to this kind of crafting mode, this is happening right now when you press escape. And we're gonna leave that as is. But we're probably going to need, here we're going to send what categories. We can either send it here or internally, like the part where based on this attribute we could select the categories, the inventory mode. Let's do that instead, so that, especially since it's referencing 2 places. So here, inventory mode, we are setting the recipes to this UI component that represents the crafting panel, which has 2 grid components inside. So we're gonna switch the inventory mode, and if it is crafting, then we're gonna have some categories, and if it's cooking, we're gonna have some other categories. So right now, if we check the recipes panel, we're going to see that it has some hard-coded categories already, which are these. We are going to need an enumeration of the crafting categories to replace this implicit type here, or explicit type here. So let's create that crafting category, or craft category. Crafting sounds better, yeah. Let's put that on its own file here in the game model file, crafting category.ts, and it's gonna be an enumeration, export default enumeration crafting category, and it's going to have these possible values instead of those strings. Export default enum. Why don't you like it? Yeah, okay, I don't know why this happens sometimes. I like it better that way. We're gonna import that here, and here we need to set this to crafting category, and in here it's also gonna be a crafting category. So we're just strengthening the type here. Category ID. We're gonna change this so it's not going to be a string ID anymore, but a crafting category. And in here is gonna be crafting category dot walls. I'm just doing some typing conversion here. Still no change for the cooking thing. Let's save all. Let's check here and let's see if the compiler complains about anything. Doesn't seem to complain. We're fine. Check that we did not break anything. It's working fine. All right. So I think I will commit that. Typify crafting categories. all about the gradual transition that you can do while moving from pure vanilla JavaScript to TypeScript, which is always great. Alright, now let's go one step further. The categories that we have right now are defined somewhere to be this. They are here. We need to have these categories be dynamic. We need to do that when the panel is activated by setting a recipes. So in addition to setting the recipes, we are going to need the categories that we're going to show. And this is crafting category array. And it's actually these crafting categories. Well, not that. We're going to iterate. There's a problem with this and that. We need a label in addition to the ID. For now, I'm gonna do the trick of transforming the IDs into a displayable label. So it's going to go like this. Data is going to be crafting categories. We're going to map that array of enumeration values, crafting category. Each one of these is going to be transformed into an object whose data item is the crafting category itself, and the label is going to be, we have a utilities module which has a uppercase first function, and in here I believe we can send the crafting category. It's going to use it as if it was a string. Is it? I don't know. Let's see. And we are going to do that for all the items here. We don't need this. Let's see how it goes. Why is it complaining? So one of the advantages of TypeScript is we can see left side of comma operator is unused. This is because I believe we need an additional set of braces. Yeah, in order to have the arrow function return that value instead of it being the body of the arrow function. Now we set the data to the categories grid, we update it, and we reset the selection. And then in here, show recipes, we're going to have, I think we can probably, at least initially, have a map here where we configure that. So it's going to be just before, probably before the actual functions where we're still defining stuff. Let's have something here like categories, crafting categories map, and it's going to be an object which is indexed by this crafting and cooking. And for crafting, it's going to be the ones that we had here. So these basically, we're gonna put them wherever we did the change. I lost it now. Here, okay. So it's gonna be crafting category dot walls flooring tools furniture and paint. And for cooking, well, it's gonna be something different, but let's go step by step. For now, let's just make sure that this is working. I'm gonna send just tools here, and in here we're going to send to the set recipes, we're going to send crafting categories map in the inventory mode index. Disable and see how it looks. and it failed. Uppercase first failed because we did not get a string here. I believe we can, what we can do. So yeah, it tried to convert this, to do this conversion for an enumeration value, which is probably the integer that represents it. Let's see if the toString does something. I'm not completely sure it will, but we can try. Oh wait, I sent the incorrect thing. Let's try this and see how it works. I believe I was sending the array instead of the element that we were mapping. No, still failing. And what are we getting here? It's 1, yeah. It's the actual index of the enumeration value. Let's try the toString, but I'm not too sure about it. It's probably gonna send same number but as a string. Yeah. So let's create a simple helper function here that returns the crafting category name, and it received a crafting category as a string, and this is actually better, I guess. I mean, it's still, we're gonna have to manually, or we could have a map. Yeah, let's have a map instead. In this same file we can export crafting category descriptions, and now this is an object, and we're gonna export it. Descriptions. Oh, const. Yeah. I forgot. Okay. Okay. Just, like the flooring is going to be flooring, walls is going to be walls, but like in proper casing, tools, paint, and furniture. And we're gonna use that map. Let's name it as a map. And we're gonna use that here. We're gonna import it, and we're going to send the actual crafting category. So we no longer need this util. We're going to remove that import as well. Save all, and see how it works. Happened there? Something horrible. That's super weird, because what did we change? I don't think we changed a lot. We are mapping the crafting category that we are receiving. Data item is the actual enumeration value, and the label was string. Not sure why this would affect the actual number of crafting categories that we're seeing, but it is affecting it, which is crazy. It should just be a string. Oh, maybe. Let's crap. That's the other way. Dictionaries are indexed by strings. What am I missing here? Oh, maybe. Yeah. What's the syntax? I always forget. Something Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah, I think you are indexing here by enumeration values, and I just had some attribute names there. That doesn't work like that. Well, what happened? Okay, let's reset this. Luckily, we can iterate very quickly in JavaScript. Now, well, at least we have the we have the things now, but it's not working well to update the recipes. It's because when we activate recipes, grid, show recipe info. No. We want the set recipes. So it's not filtering correctly because update grid is filtering recipe.craft category. I believe this is not being populated correctly, probably. This is the numbers right now. What to do here? Because this is what we load from the JSON file, but we cannot compare that. So the quickest way out of this is to convert that here with another similar function, like the inverse of this. I think there's a way to transform. There should be a way. TypeScript get enum label name, something like that. Yeah, it's simpler. Let's just assign string values here. Yeah, should work. So that the actual value of the enumeration is not going to be zero based. We can actually set back the thing that we had here. Is going to work. Actually, yeah, let's change this back to the enumeration for clarity. Crafting category. Yeah. Save all. Yeah, I think that was a problem. I had not assigned a string value to the enumeration values. So yeah, it was assigning by default these numbers. Yes, that's great. So yeah, I wanted that. Now let's look at the cooking menu, and we have only tools. That's great because it's differentiating based on what the context of the crafting menu is being displayed. Yeah, so that was step one. Now let's go to the recipes. I'm gonna open the recipes data from the Emerald Woods data sheets, and in here we're gonna see the recipes. We have a lot of recipes. In the crafting menu we have the craft category, so we're going to add a craft category to the recipes as well. So the column here, craft category, but in here we're going to have some other things. So we're going to have let's see, how do we want to separate them? I don't know. For now, meat, drinks, soups. Let's see, soups, dishes. are the the descriptions are in the actual items. Drinks. I think this is just meat. Cate mole is actually guacamole. What is that? I don't know. I will say that it's a salad. Berry pie. Roast nuts. Yeah, I'm actually will have to probably go back to this in a bit to separate into more meaningful things. But I just want to do the technical part of it. Meat, drinks, soups. How would you separate this? Like, what would be proper way to separate or to categorize these things? For now, I will just use the criteria of it being a drink or a food dish or meat. So let's delete all these. So all these grilled things are meat. That's easy. The coffee bean is a nut, and the roast nut is a nut as well. Coffee bean. Actually, that's not a recipe. It's transforming a grain into a bean that you can then transform. This is like a 2 steps transformation. I don't know. Rice. Water panel is a drink. Red rice and bread. I don't know. Food. Meat soups. Meat soup. Meat soup. Salad. No, let's say just food. So we have this and salad. Did I include salad in the end? Food. Pie. I will change this afterwards. So well, anyways, we have the following. We have these categories. We're gonna go to the crafting categories, and we're gonna add these other ones for food. So we have meat, soup, drinks, so drink. Yeah, because it's singular elsewhere, so it's gonna be singular here as well. Drink. Soup, meat, food. I'm out of imagination today. Pie, nut, drink. Food, nut, already there. Meat, all these meats. Food, pie, and drinks. Drink. So we have 5 new crafting categories. We're going to initialize them. And then we're going to go here and load all that data of the recipes with their craft category in the game using this CSV converter, this very useful website that transforms all that tabular data into this beautiful JSON that we can go into cooking, format the document, and if we compare the changes that we have, it's the crafting category, the craft category. Now we're going to go here, and these are the categories that we want to display, but it's 6. It's bigger than the current component allows. But we will look into that later. Let's for now have this 4. Now we also need to provide descriptions for this. So we're going to add this to the map, to the description map. We could have assigned to the enumeration not just an ID, like a string, sorry, but instead the description description as well, like an object containing both the idea and the description. That could have been an alternative to having this map: meat, soup, drink, food, pie, and nut. And we are going to go to the pixie display, this other configuration map that we put here. And in here, when we're cooking, the crafting categories we want to display are these 5. We will not include the nuts. Well, let's include them all. It's going to look a little weird because it's going to overflow. Because yeah, it only supports 5 categories right now. That's something that we will have to address. I think we can still find out a better way to categorize the recipes. For now, let's go and check and see how it looks. Let's approach here and cook. Meat, soup, drink, food, pie, and this is what I meant. The nuts are like overflowing in the list of ingredients. So we'll have to figure out a better way. I think limiting these to 5 categories should be the way to go. Now, if I wanted to drink, to cook a drink like this coffee, and I tried to do it, I need 5 water. Let's try and cook it. So I'm going to exit here, grab the steel pot, get some water for it. Put it back, release it here, cook that drink. It works great. Let's cook something else. Let's cook what's the name of it? Licotree. Come here, Licotree. Sorry, I'm just gonna sacrifice you. You are now meat, and I'm going to cook you. Grilled Licotree. It works great. If I press tab, however, we're gonna find this behavior that I was mentioning. I can't just cook from anywhere remotely using telepathy. So that is something that we will fix on the next session. But for now, I just wanted to advance a little bit on the crafting and cooking menus. You can see that the interface is pretty different than it was before. I kind of like it. And the next thing that we will do is, as I mentioned, preventing player from moving. Moving should only be allowed if you are in this crafting mode, because that's where it makes sense. Because you should be able to like relocate where you are, place stuff. But for cooking and also in the future for other kind of crafting stations, you're going to need to be there in the spot to craft the things. So yeah, that's it for today. This was a small, short coding session, but I hope it was informative. Remember to follow me on Twitch and Twitter, Slashie.co Slashie.co in Twitch, and Slashie_ in Twitter. And tomorrow we'll probably have a new version, or well, no, not tomorrow, unlikely, but because tomorrow we're going to be testing it, but very likely that this weekend is going to be out. So keep an eye out on slash.itch.io. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the midnight coding session number 14 next Tuesday. Have a great night.